feels like ancient Egypt, kind of ish.
Yes. Are you indoors or outdoors?
I'm outdoors. There's like maybe like a market. There's people going about their business, selling stuff at the market, and I'm just observing.
Take a look at your feet. What are you wearing on your feet?
Sandals.
Are you male or female?
I'm male.
Okay. Tell me what you look like. Describe what you're wearing.
Wearing like a white robe with red, a white and red robe. Kind of like what Jesus would be wearing, I guess. I have a beard.
Yes.
Long hair.
How old are you there?
30s, like upper 30s, 36 maybe.
And this robe that you're wearing, does it have any significance, this color red?
I don't think so. I think I just like it.
Okay. And where is it that you're going today?
I don't know. Maybe to buy stuff.
All right. So just tell me what it is that you're finding as you're going along your way.
Bread. There's horses.
Yes.
People carrying stuff. People are carrying rocks.
And what does this place smell like?
Like dirt, kind of.
Yes.
It's very earthy.
Yes. What's the temperature like there?
It's good. It doesn't feel too hot or too cold.
Okay, very good. So I'm going to count to 3. I want you to close the scene, and you'll go to the place in which you live. 1, 2, and 3.
It's this house. It's made out of stone.
How do you get inside?
You just walk through. There's no like door.
Okay.
I don't think. It's very humble.
What do you see inside?
Like a kitchen, a wood fire kitchen. And there's, I would think that's my wife and a son.
Yes. So take a look at your wife and son. Do they feel familiar to you? Look at your wife's eyes.
They're blue.
And look at your son.
He's a small boy. He's like maybe 4 years old.
Yes, and notice how he looks at you.
He's very happy to see me.
Good. So what do you notice in your home?
I don't have a lot of things. It's very humble.
Yes, yes. And notice your relationship with your wife and son. How is that?
I think they love me very much, and I feel like I work really hard.
Very good. So let's find out a little bit more about how it is that you work. I'm going to count to 3. Close the scene. When I get to 3, you'll be in the place where you're working. 1, 2, and 3. Where are you?
I feel like I'm cutting rocks up to make them more square. Like I guess maybe they use these for building other houses.
Yes.
I just see myself cutting a lot of rocks and shaping them all day.
Do you do this by yourself, or are there others that work with you?
There are a lot of other people. Yeah, we just cut stones up all day and then put them in a pile.
What do you feel about your job?
It's hard work, and I feel like there's something better out there.
Okay.
I feel like I don't want to be doing this forever.
Very good. Very good. So let's close this scene, and I'm going to have you go to the next significant event in that lifetime, something that impacts you. When I get to number 3, you'll be there. 1, 2, and 3. What's happening?
I'm in the middle of a crowd. There's some kind of commotion going on. I'm not sure what's happening.
Yes.
But people seem like kind of angry.
Yes.
Everybody's around like a stage of some sort. I don't know, I think maybe they're executing somebody.
And notice how you're feeling about this.
I'm very confused about what this person did.
Mm-hmm.
Like why they have to be killed.
Yes.
And I don't know what's going on.
All right, so just talk through it and tell me what's happening.
I'm observing everybody else that's around me, and everybody else seems very angry as well. They're very angry that this person's being murdered, I think.
Yes.
But the people that are at the stage don't seem to care.
Yes. How is it that this person is being murdered?
They're going to cut his head off.
Mm-hmm. Do you know the one who is being murdered?
I don't think so.
What happens next?
Everybody just feels very angry. They feel like an injustice was done.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know what that person did, but everybody's very angry.
Yes. Continue. How does this affect you?
It makes me feel like this, wherever I'm living, is unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
And like we can't be here anymore because maybe that's going to happen to other people.
Yes. What decision do you make?
We have to move. I don't know where, but we can't, I feel like we can't stay here anymore.
Mm-hmm. Good. So let's close this scene. I'm going to count to 3, and you'll go to the next significant moment when this decision has been made. 1, 2, and 3.
We have all of our stuff packed up in a wagon with the donkey.
Mm-hmm.
I have my wife and my son, and we're just going out into the desert, trying to find a journey to the whatever next town
Yes.
would be near. But I know that it's going to be a really difficult journey.
Say that again.
It's going to be a very difficult journey.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we can make it, though.
Yes. Tell me more.
So
What happened?
we packed our stuff up. We're on our way, and there's like a dust storm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't have any shelter. We just have to brave through this.
Yes. Continue.
It's very just disheartening
Mm-hmm.
that we have to go through this, but it was like the best decision.
Yes. What happens next? Advance a little bit more.
I think my son got sick. I think the sand got in his lungs or something,
Yes.
and he's sick. He has like maybe like pneumonia or something.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I feel like he didn't make it, and he died. And I feel very upset about it. Like very, I don't know that it's guilt, but just very upset that he got sick.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm clenching my fist up and just like pounding on like a table.
Yes. Yes. So I want you to think about all of this and how it is that it's affecting you now in your life. As Iraís, when something happens that should have been under your control, you get angry. There's nothing you could have done. You clench your fist and pound it. What does that make you do in the life as Iraís?
It makes me ignore things, I think. It's like if there's nothing I could have done about it.
Mm-hmm. And when you ignore things, what does that prevent you from doing?
Not feel.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. So let's continue with the story. I'm going to count to 3. When I get to number 3, tell me what happens in that life with you and your wife. 1, 2, and 3.
I feel like I'm very old now. We never had any more children. It's just me. I'm in the bed, and she's taking care of me, but I know that it's like my time to go.
How old are you there?
78.
And what's happening with your body?
It's tired.
Yes.
And I feel like I just want to go to sleep at that point. I don't intend on waking back up. I know that I'm going.
All right. So allow yourself to go to sleep and tell me what happens. Where does your soul go?
It goes into like a blue light. And then I'm just like a blob.
Okay, very good. Very good. So listen carefully. I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1. When I get to number 1, I want you to go back to that moment when things started going bad for you. But this time I want you to just experience all of it with detail. I want you to just go through it. 3, 2, and 1. How does this all begin?
It was when we decided to move.
Yes.
I knew that we didn't have protection, but we had to go because they were murdering people in the town for no reason.
Yes.
And I thought we were more prepared. I thought I had everything together and that I could get us safely through the desert.
Yes.
We had plenty of water and plenty of food to make it through.
Yes, continue.
But then the wind started to pick up.
Yes.
And there was nowhere to hide because it's all dirt.
Yes.
And all of it is spinning. I can just see and I can feel the air just spinning and spinning and spinning, and I can't see anything, and I'm trying to cover my son and my wife, but there's no getting around any of it.
Yes. What happens next?
The dust storm passes and everything seems like it's okay, so we keep going. But it's over the next few days that my son starts getting really sick.
Yes.
And he's coughing. But there's nothing I can do about it.
Yes.
And I can just see that I'm holding him.
Yes.
And I think he has a fever now. And he's really sick. And I think he dies in my arms.
So as he dies in your arms, I want you to notice if you've made any promises or vows about your child, about it being a parent. What do you say to yourself?
That I'm always going to take care of you. But I'm sorry that I couldn't this time.
So go ahead and move forward now, advance, and let's find out how it is that this body dies.
It's just tired. My son's body.
Yes.
It doesn't want to be sick anymore, and so it doesn't want to be here if it's going to suffer.
Yes.
So my son just says goodbye
Yes.
because he doesn't want to suffer anymore. He's like, he just says goodbye to me.
Yes. Notice how this is making you feel.
Helpless. Because I was just trying to have a better life for him.
Yes.
And now it all just seems kind of pointless.
Yes.
But I know we have to keep going because we can't just stay in the middle of the desert. And so I have to bury him.
Yes.
I have to dig a hole in the sand and bury my son in the sand. And we have to leave him there. So we have to keep going.
Yes, continue.
I think after that is when we decided that we weren't going to have any more children.
Mm-hmm.
Because I couldn't be fully in control of being able to protect them and provide for them.
Very good. Say that again.
I wouldn't be able to be in control of being able to protect them.
Mm-hmm. Good. Very good. So I want you to notice now how that decision that you made is now affecting the life of Idais.
She also doesn't want to have children because she knows she won't be able to fully provide for everything that they deserve.
Mm-hmm. What do you tell her about that, about the love of a child?
That it's okay. You can't control everything.
Mm-hmm.
That it's okay that he was happy while he was here.
Very good. Very good. So I'd like for you to close that scene now and go to the last day of your life once again. What's happening?
I'm tired, but I'm excited that I'm going to get to see my son again.
Mm-hmm.
And this time, I know that there's nothing that is going to go wrong.
Yes.
But I know my wife is going to be able to take care of herself.
Very good. How old are you?
78.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very old. I think I always did the same thing, working with the rocks.
Yes.
My hands are really rough, and they're tired. And I just go to sleep.
And as you begin to leave that body behind you and go into that blue place once again, who's there waiting for you?
He's there. He's my son. He's really happy to see me.
Mm-hmm.
He's jumping up and down.
Yes.
And he's just telling me how much fun it is up there.
And you can ask him at this time, why is it that he had to leave so early?
He said it was because I had to go through it alone in this life.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
For some reason, I had to know what it was to live with pain in that lifetime.
Very good. What did you learn from living in pain?
That I don't always have to.
Mm-hmm.
That it's okay to let go because he's in a happier place.
And have you agreed to him to come back to a different lifetime to be with him again?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I know that I have to come back to learn that I shouldn't always live with so much pain that you have to let go.
All right, very good. So with that, I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and you're going to go to the next moment in time in which your soul needs to heal, where you need to learn once again. 1, 2, and 3. Where are you?
It feels like Russia for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a soldier.
Yeah.
I can see I'm in a uniform. It feels like a high-ranking uniform.
Yes.
I have a lot of medals.
Mm-hmm. How old are you there?
27.
Mm-hmm. And what is your responsibility there?
I'm in charge of a lot of troops. It's my responsibility to get them to the battlefield.
Mm-hmm. What year is this?
1947.
Mm-hmm. Yes, tell me more. What do you do next?
I'm responsible to making sure that everybody comes back. And we have enough supplies and food.
Yes.
But I think that there was like a problem and we couldn't get enough food to the troops. And it was going to be really cold winter.
Yes.
But there was nothing I could do about it. Like, the supplies couldn't get here.
So what happens?
There was a lot of people that died because of the cold.
What about you? Did you have enough food?
I think I did. And I felt very guilty about it.
Yes.
But I was like a high-ranking member, so they like gave me the food, but I felt really bad about having the food.
Yes.
Why do I get this food and the other people don't?
Yes.
A lot of guilt, for sure. Like, what makes me so special that I get to have this and you don't?
Yes.
It feels like I don't deserve it. Almost wanting to reject the food.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to reject, like, anything good that comes in a way because I don't deserve it.
Very good. So I want you to think about all of these things and how it is that it's affecting you in the life as Irais. What is this making you do in the life as Irais?
Not want to keep the good things that come.
Yes. And when you don't keep what comes, what does that prevent you from doing it?
I want to give it away, but then I would be left with nothing.
Yes. Very good. So I'm going to count from 1 to 3. You're going to continue in that life and see what happens next. 1, 2, and 3.
I'm in the middle of the battle. There's a lot of like commotion going on.
Yes.
I hear like gunshots everywhere. And I'm trying to protect the people that I'm in charge of.
Yes.
But then I get hit like on the side, maybe like on my liver or something. Feels like my liver.
Yes. What happens next?
And then I fall down, but then it's really, really hard to breathe.
Yes, continue.
I don't feel any pain, but it's just very difficult to breathe. And I feel like I'm running out of air.
And what is the last thing that the brain thinks before that body dies?
That I should have tried harder.
Yes. So allow that soul to leave that body and notice where the soul is as that body is dying.
Now I'm standing above the whole battlefield.
What are you sensing? What are you feeling?
I'm feeling like, why do we have to go through all of this? Like nobody had to suffer.
Yes.
And it just doesn't seem fair that everybody's here against their wills in a way.
So I want you to go to those people who made you suffer. And I want you to be able to speak your truth once and for all. Who are those that put you in battle?
I know it's like politicians of some sort.
So I'd like for you to stand before them. And I want you to speak your truth. Tell them exactly how you feel about these wars.
That it's not fair that you're putting everybody else through this for your problems. Whatever, like it's just communication. If you just talk your problems out, you wouldn't have to have anybody else die.
Yes. And you'll notice that when they wage war, they're building themselves up with that power, with that bloodshed. And I want you to demand that they give you that power back. Everything they took from you.
I want you to give me my power back.
Take it back. Seize all of it. It's yours. And notice what happens to your soul as you take back your power.
It's stronger now. It's proud.
Yes.
I feel like I finally got what I've always wanted.
So go back to your body now, and I want you to repair that injury. Use your light, use your power to repair it. And tell me when it's completely repaired.
It's complete.
Good. So I'd like for you now, a complete and healed soul, to go into the light, knowing that with the death of that body, that experience is over. Knowing that with the end of that experience, you don't have to feel all those feelings that you felt before. You've regained control. You are no longer under others' will. And notice how that makes you feel.
Free.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like I can do anything. I feel ecstatic.
Good. So with that feeling, we're going to now go to another moment in time in which your soul needs to heal those relationships that don't quite feel good. I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and I want you to go to the time in which this all began, this disconnect. It may be in this lifetime or another lifetime. 1, 2, finding the disconnect, the wall, and 3. Where are you?
Feels like southern Spain.
Mm-hmm. What's happening?
It feels like a calm day today, but I have a bad feeling about it.
Mm-hmm. Are you male or female there?
I'm female.
Yes. How old are you there?
23.
Mm-hmm. And this bad feeling that you're feeling, what's happening to cause you this?
There was something going on in a different land.
Mm-hmm.
I live in a castle. I feel like I'm in a room. I have a really nice, beautiful dress on.
Yes.
And there's been some drama going on in a different land, but somehow it affects us.
Yes. What do you call yourself there? What's your name?
Isabel?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They're blaming us for something. I don't know what, but they think my family did something.
Mm-hmm. So let's find out a little bit more about your family. I'll count to 3. When I get to number 3, you will be with your family and see who they are. 1, 2, and 3.
I feel like we're not farmers, but the people who take the farming. The other people do the farming for us,
Mm-hmm.
and we're the owners of the land.
Okay.
The land was given to us.
You're a landowner then?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I think that there's some commotion, that there's been, some of the farmers have been stealing some of the crops, and so the crops haven't been able to be given to the king, I think.
Yes.
Like, completely.
Yes.
And they're blaming my father for it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
my father has been doing the best that he can.
Yes. What happens next?
He's doing the best that he can, but they're not happy, and today I think they brought somebody
Mm-hmm.
to, like, teach him a lesson,
Yes.
and they ended up killing me. And I feel betrayed.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like, my father didn't do enough to protect me.
Say that again.
My father didn't do enough to protect me.
Very good.
And I was caught up in all of this when it wasn't my fault.
Mm-hmm.
And why is it that I had to pay the price?
So I want you to notice in that moment if you've made any promises or vows regarding your father.
That I'm not going to trust. That I'm not going to trust my parent. Because they're not there to protect me.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
I know that it wasn't his fault, but I still feel betrayed.
Mm-hmm. All right. So listen carefully. I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1. When I get to number 1, you're going to go to the moment before all of this betrayal starts. And this time you're going to experience all of it. 3, 2, and 1. How does this all begin?
My father was always, like, he always took care of the people, so he doesn't know why they're doing this to him.
Mm-hmm.
Why they're stealing from him.
Yes.
He was always very worried about everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
He was always worried about the farmers, making sure they had enough.
Yes.
I don't think that he ever asked me if I had enough. I never really saw him because he was always busy.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt very lonely and bored.
Mm-hmm. Yes, continue.
And he's trying to figure out why they're stealing from him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But he doesn't know who it is either. He thinks that it's everybody. And so he's very stressed and can't figure it out.
Yes.
I can't help him and I feel bad, but
Yes. What happens next?
one day he got a letter that says that some important people were going to be coming.
How do you feel about that?
I feel a little bit worried
Mm-hmm.
because normally they'd leave us alone,
Yes.
but this sounded really serious. So I was really worried, but I was like, oh, it's going to be fine.
Yes.
They're just going to come and they're going to leave. And then
Go to the moment in which they're arriving. Who are they?
they're important people, but they're not like the king.
Mm-hmm.
They're maybe one step below the king. They come in some really fancy horses and carriages.
Yes.
They seem really important, and they come out very entitled.
Yes.
And then we try to greet them very nice, but they don't seem like they're interested.
Yes.
They go to where my father works, in the room. I'm not there, but I'm listening behind, like, the door,
Yes.
trying to, like, hear what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really hear very well what they're saying, but I feel scared.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, this is getting more serious.
Yes.
So they're saying to him something like, you're taking from the king, so we're going to take something from you.
Yes.
I didn't know what that meant. And so then I ran to my room,
Mm-hmm.
and I shut the door, and I was just looking out the window.
Yes. What happens next?
And then there's like these guards that just barged through the door. And it all happened so quickly.
So I want you to slow it down and tell me exactly what happens.
I heard them coming. And I thought it was just weird that they were coming to my room.
Yes.
I could hear the very, like, really heavy footsteps. And they just opened the door. They didn't knock or anything. They just barged through the door.
Yes.
And I was startled. And I didn't know what to do. But they just grabbed my arms. And then they just cut my throat. And then that's it. It all happened so quickly.
Yes. And what is the last thing that your brain says or thinks?
That I felt abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't even see my father's face.
Yes. So where's your soul as your body is dying?
It's hovering over the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just thinking like, oh, what a shame.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to go to those people that killed you, that betrayed you, that you felt you weren't able to express yourself with. Who are they?
I don't know what they are, but they were just doing the king's bidding for him, and I don't understand why they're hurting other people.
Mm-hmm. So tell them that. I want you to get angry and tell them you had no right.
You don't have to hurt other people for your job.
Mm-hmm. Tell them I didn't do anything to you.
It was not my fault.
You took my life.
You took my life from me. It was not okay. I didn't do anything to you. I didn't do anything bad.
Mm-hmm. And you notice that when they took your life force, they felt power. And you want that back. You demand that they give you back your life force, your power.
I want my life force back.
Now. Take it. Don't let them take it from you. Take your power back. Your dignity. Your independence. And now that you have your power back, I want you to find your father. And I want you to tell your father what happened from your point of view.
I felt like you abandoned me. I didn't even see you try to fight for me whenever they came in the room.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like you abandoned me.
You're weak.
That you're weak.
Mm-hmm. You broke my heart.
Yeah. You broke my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I had so much potential.
Yes. Give me back that power that you took from me by abandoning me.
Give me back the power that you took by abandoning me.
Take it. And as you take that power, you'll understand what really happened with your father. You'll be able to get insight from your father's soul.
He didn't know what was happening either.
Yes.
He didn't find out until after it happened.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't let him leave the room.
Yes. And now that you could see that, can you forgive your father for this that you've been holding all of this time through all these lifetimes of feeling abandoned, of feeling betrayed, knowing that he didn't know?
I can forgive him.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to notice where you're holding all of that, where you have been holding all of that weight from all of these lifetimes that have been hurting. Where are you keeping all of that?
It's all in my head.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to go ahead and take your hands and release all of that energy. Just pull it right out. All of that thinking that he had betrayed you, thinking he had sold you out. And now we want to fill that space with something beautiful. What would you like to fill that space now that you have forgiven your dad? that soul that it know?
Beautiful flowers.
Beautiful. I'm going to sound a tuning fork, and I want you to bring in the most beautiful flowers you could think of. Almost as if they're singing to you. And now that you have all of this, I want you to go ahead and take your energy, and I want you to repair that neck. Suture it up. You could take your hands, you could staple it, you could sew it. Go ahead and repair your neck. So with that, I'd like for you to go ahead and take that soul into the light. Take her into the light so she can rest now, knowing that with the death of that body, that experience is over. Now that that experience is over, that she has forgiven her dad, now that she understands that it was not a betrayal, that he didn't even know what had happened until later, that she can now release all of that and go into the light with peace, knowing that with the end of that experience, it no longer affects any lifetime that she's living. And as you get to the light, you'll be able to understand what it was that you needed to learn in that lifetime. What was the lesson?
You can't blame other people. Sometimes it's just not their fault.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So now that you understand that that is what the lesson of that life, I want you to look at that aspect of that soul that's living as Irais. And notice how she is now living, holding on to that wall that she's built, blaming others for something she doesn't even know why. What do you say to her?
You gotta let it go. Even if it's not other people's fault. You have to live your own life.
Mm-hmm. I want you to know if you've seen his eyes before, if they seem familiar.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. Feel his energy.
It does seem a little familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But not anybody close.
All right. So let's find out where you have known this soul before. I'm going to count from 3 to 1. When I get to number 1, you will be in that moment in time in which you have been with him before. 3, 2, and 1.
Feels like California.
Mm-hmm.
In an apartment by the beach.
Yes. Are you male or female there?
I'm female.
Mm-hmm. What year is this?
Feels like 1970.
Mm-hmm. What's happening?
I'm in a home.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like I live there, but it doesn't feel like my home.
Mm-hmm. Yes, tell me more.
The house is empty. I feel like he's using me for something.
Mm-hmm. What is he using you for?
Feels like maybe I'm like a prostitute, kind of, but against my will.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like he loans me out to other people.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Not like every day. It doesn't feel like it happens super often, but
Yes. Is this something that you do out of your own free will?
no.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I got into the situation,
Yes.
but I'm here.
What happens next?
I feel depressed because I don't want to do this. I don't want to be here,
Yes.
but I can't leave because if I leave, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do. I don't have a house. I don't have a car.
Yes.
It's like he provides for me.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So you're kind of using him too.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
It's just convenience.
Yes. Advance a little bit more. See what happens.
I'm just so depressed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be in this situation.
So what do you do about it?
I don't know what to do. He's there and I can't. I know that if I leave, like, he will find me somehow.
Yes.
And so I don't see a way out. So it feels like I ended up like committing suicide, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know of another way out.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just the easiest way to end the pain.
Yes. So I want you to notice what happens to your soul.
It feels really heavy. It's so sad.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
It
So I
feels,
want you to think about this. What's been the most difficult part of all of that?
feeling helpless.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't feel like I was just a prisoner. But I wasn't. I was just so depressed that I couldn't see a way out.
And when you feel so helpless that you don't see a way out, how do you react to this physically? What is your physical reaction?
Cringing.
Mm-hmm. And when you feel this cringing, what are your emotional reactions?
Avoidance. I cringe and I just don't want to deal with anything.
And what is your mental reaction?
It's too overwhelmed to think about and find a way forward.
Mm-hmm. So think about all of these things and how it is that is affecting you now in the life as Irais. When you feel helpless, your body's cringing, there's avoidance, it's too overwhelming. What does that make you do?
It makes me build the wall.
Mm-hmm. And when you build a wall, what does that prevent you from doing?
Having connections with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm just by myself.
Very good. Very good. So listen carefully. I'm going to go backwards, count backwards. When I get to number 1, you'll see how this all began. What got you into this circumstance? This time you're going to experience it completely. 3, 2, and 1. How does this all begin?
I was just sitting down at a bus stop, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Reading maybe the newspaper.
Yes.
I was just having a normal day.
Mm-hmm.
And then
How old are you there?
it feels like 16.
Yes.
And I was just there and a car came up and pulled up. It was a really nice car. It looked very pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yes, what happened next?
I just noticed it. It was cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the man that was there like stepped out and went inside of the diner that was behind me. I didn't make much of a note of it.
Yes.
I just went about my day. But I think he noticed me somehow.
Yes.
I tried not to make a big deal about it. I was like, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I want you to notice if you have any attraction to this man.
No, it makes me cringe.
Okay. What happens next?
I think he invited me to eat with him one day.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to be rude. So I just said yes.
Mm-hmm. What happens next?
We just ate and then he left. But it made me really uncomfortable somehow.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to do it again. But he was much older than me.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like he was like kind of dangerous. I think he had a gun.
Yes.
In that time. So I was also kind of scared. I didn't want to cause a commotion.
Mm-hmm. What happened next?
I don't know how, but I somehow ended up living with this person.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't like a romantic thing at all. It was just like I somehow just ended up living there.
Yes.
And he did like dirty business inside of that apartment. There's a lot of men that came over.
Yes.
There was a lot of guns and drugs everywhere all the time.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to count to 3. When I get to number 3, I want you to go to the day in which you die, but this time I want you to experience all of it. 1, 2, and 3.
It was a normal day, I think. I just went to the grocery store. And I walked by the beach. But everything felt so depressing. It's like I couldn't feel anything at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I got back home and nobody was there. The house was empty. It was during the day. It was a beautiful day. And I put the groceries that I bought in the fridge. And then I just decided today was the day.
Yeah, so what did you do?
I think I grabbed a knife. It was like a small like box opener kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just sat down by the fireplace with my back against the wall, and then I slit my wrists, both of them.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to now feel the feeling of that blood oozing out of your wrists. And what is the first thing you notice?
That it's so red.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels really warm and
Yes.
gooey.
Mm-hmm. And what is your body feeling as it's beginning to flow out?
It almost felt relief, like I was finally letting something out that was inside of me.
Yes. And what happens to your brain when it's no longer receiving all of that blood?
It just shut off.
Mm-hmm. What's the last thing that it thinks before it shuts off?
It just, what a shame. It had so much potential.
Mm-hmm. So notice what happens to your soul. Where is it?
I think it lingers there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it stayed there.
Yes. And as the soul lingers there, I want you to notice if it's the same soul that Irais has now, or is it different?
It's part of it's the same.
All right, very good. So I'd like for you now to speak to that man. Speak to his soul. And tell him exactly how you feel about how your life ended up with him.
That I never wanted any of this. I just didn't know how to say that I didn't want it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You were really mean. And you made me do things that I didn't want to do.
Yes.
I didn't want any of this.
And you took all of my power.
And you took all of my power.
You took my innocence.
You took my innocence.
Keep going. Tell him everything he took from you.
I'm so angry.
Yes.
I didn't deserve it.
Yes.
And you robbed me of all of that.
And I want it back.
And I want it back.
Take it. Take all of it back. Breathe it all in. And now that you have all that power back, I want you to go ahead and repair your wrists. I want you to suture them up. Now that you have all of your life force energy back. And I want you to take that soul into the light, knowing that with the end of that experience, this no longer belongs to you. With the death of that body, it's over. And as you go into the light, your guide will meet you. What does your guide tell you about that lifetime?
That the goal was to get out of it. The goal was to be strong enough to get out of that situation. But you didn't make it through.
Mm-hmm.
But you were strong enough to get out of it.
Yes. So why is it that this soul needed to come back in the lifetime of Idais to face this man again? What does she need to do now?
Forgiveness.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to notice how not forgiving this man has been hurting her. You know, I kind of remember a story about a woman who had gone to a witch because she had an enemy that was hurting her. And she said, "Witch, I want you to make me a special potion to give to my enemy, to kill them, because I don't want them to kill me first." And the witch said, "No problem." She went to the back, mixed up a potion and gave it to her and said, "Take this potion and give it to your enemy, a drop every day, and soon your enemy will be dead." And she took the potion. And a little while later she came back to the witch and she said, "Witch, look at me. I have sores all over my body. My teeth are falling out. My hair is falling out. I'm dying. What have you done to me, witch?" And she said, "What did you do with that potion?" And she said, "I took a drop of it every day, just like you said." And she said, "Stupid woman, I told you it was for your enemy, not for you. When you take all of that hatred in, you poison yourself." So I want you to notice how that poison has been affecting your soul, how those walls have been built to keep you safe from those that you feel may harm you. Are we ready to break down that wall and forgive? Forgive someone who didn't know, who was stupid in that lifetime?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to notice where you're holding all of this resentment.
Feels like my feet.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to go ahead and pull out that energy from your feet. Pull it all out. Let it go. And now what would you like to replace that with?
Just beautiful light.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to sound a tuning fork for your feet. And I want you to bring in that beautiful light. What color is it?
Green.
Mm-hmm. And notice what's happening to your feet.
They're happy.
Mm-hmm.
They feel free. They feel like they can run.
Very good. Very good. So now that you're in the light, I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and I want you to find a lifetime in which all of this began. I'm going to count to 3. When I get to number 3, you'll be in that life. 1, 2, and 3. Where are you?
I feel like it's Roman times.
Mm-hmm. What's happening?
I'm selling apples, it feels like.
Yes.
And I'm just minding my own business, and there's a little boy that comes and steals my apples every time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where their parents are,
Yes.
but it annoys me so much that they keep taking my apples.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm trying to work hard too.
Yes. What happens next?
One day they came and they took the apples, and I caught them. And I took the apple from this little boy,
Mm-hmm.
and I hit him really, really hard.
Yes. And I want you to look into his eyes. Do you recognize those eyes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're her little eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What happens next?
I felt really bad, but it had happened too many times.
Mm-hmm.
And I told this little boy to never come back here again.
Yes. Very good.
I felt like I needed to teach them a lesson
Mm-hmm.
because nobody else was doing it.
Yes. So I'd like for you to do something now. I'm going to count from 1 to 3, and your soul is going to follow that little boy when he steals an apple. I want you to go all the way to his home. 1, 2, and 3.
He's in a home that's like, it's not, I wouldn't even consider this a home. It's just cloth and sticks.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of other children there. I don't think that this little boy's mom pays any attention to him. He's so busy with everything else.
Yes.
Feels totally ignored.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he partially steals the apples just to have something to do, but also because he doesn't get enough to eat at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he senses my energy,
Yes.
and that he knows that I'm the least mean out of everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Say that again.
That I'm the least mean person or from everybody else.
Yes.
He knows that if he stole from anybody else, they would like send him to jail or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he knows that I would have let him go.
Yes.
He feels bad, but he also didn't have a choice.
Mm-hmm. So I want you to notice what decision you have made in your life about this little boy, about his soul.
That it's not my responsibility. That it's his parents' responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And now that you see his parents.
It makes sense.
Mm.
He didn't have anybody to teach him
Yes.
what to do or how to take care of himself.
Yes. So what would you like to say to this little boy now that you understand that he came to you because you were the kinder one?
That I understand now, and if I had known, I would have loved to have been one to teach him things and help him.
Yes.
He could have even helped me pick the apples
Yes.
and sell them with me.
So at that moment, I want you to notice what decision was made by this child in order to seek you out again.
I know he had been watching me for a really long time,
Mm-hmm.
and he had seen how I treated other people,
Yes.
and that's why he decided to do this for me.
Mm-hmm.
But if he would just come up to me and tell me and started talking to me, then this would have never happened.
Very good. So I want you to think, what's been the most difficult part of that experience?
Just the frustration of only seeing the bad side of this person, this little boy.
How does that affect you in the life as it is? What does it make you do?
It closes me off. But whenever I know the whole story, that's when you can see that it's not all bad.
So when you close off, what does that prevent you from doing?
From getting to know the whole story.
Getting to know, very good. So I'd like for you to talk to the soul of this little girl who has come into your life, the life of Irais. Now that you know the whole story, now that you know why she's in this life, to steal your apples once again, what do you say to her?
I wish that you would just talk to me a little bit more so that I know what's going on. I can't help something whenever I don't know what's going on.
Switch. What do you say back to Irais?
I'm embarrassed to talk about my life, to tell anybody what's going on.
Yes, why is that?
Because I know my life isn't normal like other people.
Yes.
And it's embarrassing to talk about it.
So what do you need from Irais in order for you to open up?
I just want somebody to be there. They don't have to say much, but just so I know that they're available.
That seems like something that Irais has been looking for too. She's been looking for stability. Is that what you need?
That would be really nice.
Switch. Irais, what do you say back?
I can absolutely do that.
Very good. Are you willing to give her a big hug now?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and give her a big hug. And notice how that feels.
It feels caring. It feels warm. It feels like I'm doing something good.
Good. Good, very good. So I'd like for you to go ahead and disconnect from that energy. And I want to ask if there's anything else that we want to work on today, or do you feel that we are complete?
I think this is it.
Very good. And I will count from 1 to 5. With each number, you'll be waking up more and more. And when I get to number 5, you'll open your eyes with complete control of your mind and your body. 5, wide awake, completely alert, feeling wonderful all over. Welcome.
Holy cow. That was crazy. I feel like I made all of it up for sure,
That's
but
how it feels.
you definitely.
Why would you make that up? It was amazing. How long do you think it was?
Very detailed. It feels like it was only like 45 minutes, but
Take a look.
oh my god! Wow! Holy cow! That's crazy.
Do you remember most of it?
Yeah, I think I do. I remember most of it.
Does it make sense to you?
Yeah. Now everything is like, oh duh. That makes complete sense. And I can let it all go.
Yeah.
And be at peace, for sure.
So how does your body feel?
A lot lighter. I feel like more free, like I can go running now. It doesn't feel heavy. It feels good.
Good. Do you want to share some of this with anybody?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I know how much your videos have helped me, so I'm like, go ahead.
Oh, someone who looks the same height as me, which is really great. So hi everybody. We just had a great session here. Wow, such vivid descriptions.
Yeah, there's no like visuals, but it's definitely just like a feeling. The stuff just comes up so quickly.
So you had never been hypnotized before?
It's my first time.
So what were you expecting and what did you get?
I think I was expecting to be like fully not in control of my thoughts, but no, I was very much like, it didn't feel like anything. I felt like I was just like fully awake and aware.
And you knew the details.
Yeah, they just like came. They just came.
That's how it goes. So we are in Dallas right now. And how did you get the session?
I signed up for your email list, and then I just got lucky. Just divine timing, honestly. It really, really is.
Yeah. When I travel, I send the newsletter out to the locals, and that makes it easier for the locals to get a session. So that's how you got it.
I think that helped that you came here. If you didn't come here, I don't know that I would have gotten a session.
But it was your time.
But it was my time.
It was your time. And you said it was almost like it was the right time because she had been traveling.
Yeah. Alba was here for 3 days, and I was out of town for the last 2 days, and it wasn't until when I came back that she had a session available. It just so happened.
So you can see, that's why I say it's divine timing. When you're supposed to be here, you will. And that's what happened.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It was great.
Absolutely.
So this was a great session. Some of it has been cut through because it was very personal. There was all about people that she knew. So we do take out the names to protect the innocent. That's what I do. And if you want a session with me, just go to my website, albaweinman.com. You need to sign up for the newsletter. And it comes out once a month with sessions that I do either in person. In-person sessions are usually done in Florida, in Micanopy, or on Zoom. Or when I travel, which has not been much since 2020, then I will let everybody know, the locals, when I'm coming. So thank you all for watching. Until the next time, love you. Bye-bye.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.